But first there's a Gengar, and I was thinking, hold on, we have Shadow Claw. What if I could just debuff this Gengar to the point where Shadow Claw from Sandslash is doing insane damage? What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Ox here with another video. If you're new to the channel, we do upload Pokemon Go content mostly related to PvP, and if you're a returning subscriber like Luis Vasquez, thank you for the support. In today's video, we are taking a look at some battles in the Ultra League Premier Classic, and we are featuring Alolan Sandslash, which just gained access to the legacy move of Shadow Claw. Alolan Sandslash is a Pokemon that maxes out under 2500 CP at level 40. So for the Ultra League Premier Classic, where you can only use Pokemon up to level 40 or 41 with the best buddy boost, this Pokemon is still going to fall short of that 2500 CP limit. As a result, it's a little underleveled, but we're going to see if it still has play in this meta. Joining Alolan Sandslash on this team is going to be a little bit of a break from the spice. We have Shadow Nidoqueen, which is also actually underleveled for the Ultra League Premier Classic, and then Walrein, which is basically the king of the meta. This is a double ice team, which I know a lot of people like to see, so hopefully you find these battles entertaining. If you do, please consider leaving a like on the video. It really helps the channel grow. Leave a comment down below, and without any further ado, let's jump into the first battle right now. So we are running what I would consider an ABB team for this video. We have two Pokemon very weak to fighting in the back, and then a pretty hard answer to fighting in the lead in the form of Shadow Nidoqueen. Obviously, a Pokemon like Swampert or even Walrein could cause some issues if we see it in the lead. If we do see one of those Pokemon, we'll probably have to swap out into Walrein. Right here, the opponent lagging at the start, that gives us 3 free poison jabs. They swap out into a Scavalier, which is actually kind of a core breaker for this team. So I'm going to throw the Poison Fang here. And since we had such a huge energy lead, I'm actually going to throw the second one right here to make this matchup a lot more playable for my backline. I probably should have swapped out here, but I wanted to use a shield. It's totally fine. Now we come in with the Walrein. The Scavalier is dry and energy, so I'm going to throw this Icicle Spear. Remember, their defense has been dropped already by 2 stages, so we can tank one Drill Run right here, and then we'll farm down with the Icicle Spear. At this point, Machamp will come back in. We'll look to throw an Icicle Spear, possibly get farmed down right here, and then come back in with the Shadow Nidoqueen. Very nice to get a shield back there. The opponent swaps out into Empoleon, so this is actually a pretty challenging spot right here because Empoleon has a good matchup against both Alolan Sandslash and Shadow Nidoqueen. So I need to shield up the Hydro Cannon right here. It's going to deal a lot of damage to the Alolan Sandslash. And I overfarm quite a bit past the Bulldoze, hoping they no-shield this, but they do. So a little bit of a tough spot right here. I'm going to throw the Ice Punch, and hopefully they throw some energy here. Don't want them to gain too much farm. They swap out into Machamp instead. So now we have a potential win con right here. It's going to be tricky, but they likely have a move stored on Empoleon. What we need to do here is farm down completely, have a Stone Edge ready to go, and this is where having Walrein comes through clutch. The opponent needs to throw there, because if they do not throw, we'll be able to land the Stone Edge. They win CMP, so they're forced to throw. Knowing that, I'm able to swap out into Walrein to catch that move and then land the Stone Edge to win the game. Because we lose CMP, the only way the opponent could win there is to anticipate that we're going to swap out into the Walrein to catch the move. If they hold off from throwing, take out Walrein with a Waterfall, and preserve the Hydro Cannon for the Nidoqueen after we sack, then they will win the game, but that's a very risky play. So in this next battle, we saw Shadow Nidoqueen into a Muck. The opponent swapped out into Shadow Crobat, and although it is very enticing to stay in and try and land the Stone Edge on the Crobat, we have 2 ice types in the back. We need to swap out immediately, and we take out the Shadow Crobat. Muck comes back in. I could have built up to the Earthquake and went for that, but I figured they're probably going to shield. They decide not to, so now big regrets obviously. Still going to be able to deal some nice Icicle Spear damage right here, and it is going to force the opponent to throw. Now, we don't really have to worry about anything from the Muck on our Shadow Nidoqueen, so I will commit to the farm down as long as they are staying in this matchup. They could throw pretty much any move right here. We're not going to shield. It's an Acid Spray, that's fine because we're going to swap out. But first there's a Gengar, and I was thinking, hold on, we have Shadow Claw. What if I could just debuff this Gengar to the point where Shadow Claw from Sandslash is doing insane damage? So let's see what it does. And to be honest, I was expecting a lot more damage than that. Don't get me wrong, that's a lot, but this is a Gengar. It's super glassy. I was expecting a lot more damage from this double defense drop and the Shadow Claws, but I guess they're not stab. Ice Punch going to take out the Muck, and we're able to win this game. Alolan Sandslash flashing some of its potential in that battle right there. Let's hop into the next one. We are leading Shadow Nidoqueen into a Crobat. So whenever we have a Crobat lead, I like to stay in here despite having 2 solid answers in the back, because a lot of times people do not respect the Stone Edge. So I'm going to build up to the Stone Edge right here. Does the opponent know? Bang! There it is. Crobat gets taken out, and the opponent has had enough. They don't want the smoke. We take that battle. 3-0 here early on with the Alolan Sandslash team. Although it hasn't really been doing much in these battles thus far. Nidoqueen into Tangrowth. This is a great lead to see for the entire team. Opponent brings in a Gallade. I probably should have came in with the Alolan Sandslash here. Completely forgot that we are running Shadow Claw, which will be dealing super effective damage to this Gallade. So I think coming with Walrein is a mistake. But since that is what we decided to do, we basically need to commit to the 2 shield matchup, because that's the only way we're going to keep alignment here. Not that it's really that important. Both of our Pokemon do beat Tangrowth, but I'd rather keep the alignment here and see what happens from here. So the opponent is going to come in with the Tangrowth once again. Gonna build up to the Icicle Spear, but they swap out. And not sure what this is. Let's find out right here. It is a Surf Fetch, so that really hurts. Nidoqueen coming in, basically going to have a very fun time here with both the Surf Fetched and the Tangrowth. And unfortunately, it looks like Alolan Sandslash might not get too much play in this battle. Let's see how much this move does right here to the Nidoqueen. Power Whip actually does a huge chunk of damage. Holy smokes. Was not expecting that, but I guess we are a Shadow. Opponent shields up. They're going to be very sad to see this Alolan Sandslash in the back. Gonna take this Rock Slide right here. Let's see how much this does. Absolutely nothing. Alolan Sandslash, the GOAT, throwing this Ice Punch. Hit him with the little. Never mind, the opponent's gonna back out. They don't want that Alolan smoke. Honestly, I cannot blame them, because Tangrowth had absolutely nowhere to hide in that battle. Let's hop into the next one. And we have a familiar sight right here. It is another Crobat, this time the Shadow. And like I said, these players do not like to respect the Stone Edge on Nidoqueen. So does this opponent know better than the last? Bang! No, they don't. Getting taken out by the Stone Edge. And I thought they were leaving the match right here because they took a while to come in. But they're staying in, bringing in the Snorlax. We are going for the Poison Fang right here. And I'm actually going to swap out into the Walrein, preserving this Nidoqueen. The opponent is preserving their energy, so going to throw this Icicle Spear. And they are also preserving their shields, it seems like, for an Obstagoon in the back. This could be trouble, to be honest, because Alolan Sandslash is not going to fare very well with Shadow Claw against both Snorlax and Obstagoon here. So very important that we did preserve this Nidoqueen. Going to spam these Icicle Spears. Opponent still saving those shields for season 36. Nidoqueen is going to have her hands full right here. Cross Chop coming through. Going to come back in. Not going to use the shield just yet because we will survive this move. The opponent does have the option to swap out. I waited a very long time, going to throw the Poison Fang. And now the opponent finally decides to start using their shields. CMP tie here is very good. This will take out the Nidoqueen. And Sandslash with 2 shields is in a pretty tough spot. Gonna throw the Ice Punch. Thankfully, both of these Pokemon are in Ice Punch range, and we have both shields. Have to respect the superpower, so I am going to shield the first move. And once again, I have to respect the superpower, going to shield the second. And that switch timer came up a lot faster than I expected, and I didn't throw, so we need to survive the Cross Chop right here, which we do barely. CMP going to land this Ice Punch. It's going to take out the Obstagoon, and we need to outpace to the Ice Punch. Able to do it almost through that game, but we are going to be able to clinch out the 5-0. As you can see with Alolan Sandslash, there are going to be some situations where you feel like Powder Snow would be a lot better, and then situations where Shadow Claw is a lot better. So there is definitely a debate to be made as to which move has more play in the meta, but as of now, I'm having a lot of fun with Shadow Claw. Let's hop into set number 2. So 5-0 start with this team. This of course is the same team comp that I used last season to climb into the 3300s during the Ultra Premier League Classic. The only difference is that we had Ampharos in the place of Alolan Sandslash. Walrein right here is a very challenging lead, so I'm going to swap out into our own Walrein. We do get hit by the Earthquake, and I'm going to throw my own in return. It looks like we are losing CMP tie against the opponent's Walrein, so probably should just be trying to sneak in the extra move, but I throw the Earthquake here instead, which does get the shield. And at this point, I'm okay with losing switch here, so I do let that go through. Going to build up as close to the Earthquake as possible, throw the Icicle Spear. I know it's a little bit risky here, but thankfully it is a CMP tie. That would have been brutal if it was not. I think us being one away from the Earthquake forced them to throw the energy right there, so we come in with the Sandslash, have to respect the potential Earthquake here, and if we do correctly call the Earthquake, we could then farm down with Shadow Claw after landing this Ice Punch, which really doesn't do anything to Walrein. As you could see, I did consider running Gyro Ball as opposed to Bulldoze, but it doesn't flip this matchup at all, and I figured Bulldoze has more play against the rest of the meta, so I decided to go with Bulldoze instead of Gyro Ball. And right here, this explains why the opponent stayed in the Walrein mirror match. They have a grass type coming into Alolan Sandslash. Now they do have Weather Ball, so I swap out into the Nidoqueen and they bring in a Venusaur, so they are running double grass. That totally explains why they stayed in with Walrein against our own. And right here, Nidoqueen's in a pretty good spot. Gonna take this Frenzy Plant right here. We are able to survive and get off this Poison Fang. And the Venusaur actually goes down without me throwing a Poison Jab, which is kind of a weird glitch, but it is what it is. Roserade comes back in. I just need one Shadow Claw right here, not able to sneak it through. Weather Ball does a lot of damage, so we need to shield and hope they do not have a second. I think maybe we might be able to survive one, but it would be extremely close. Thankfully, we're able to take that game. 6 wins in a row. Let's hop into the next one. And this right here is a great lead to see Obstagoon into the Nidoqueen. Opponent looks like they are staying in for the time being, able to sneak in the extra Poison Jab, and we will tank this Night Slash right here. The opponent gets the boost, which isn't great, but still a pretty dominant matchup for us to be in. They swap out into Flygon, and I bring in the Walrein. A little bit late right there, but it's a pretty dominant matchup, so going to throw the Icicle Spear. When they shield this move up, it tells me that they may potentially have Stone Edge, so I am going to respect that. It did feel a little bit early, but no point taking chances here. We need to keep Obstagoon aligned onto our Nidoqueen at all costs, so I'm okay with doing this. Icicle Spear will take out the Flygon right here, and the opponent will likely come back in with the Obstagoon. We're still going to reach one more Icicle Spear, which is going to deal a nice chunk of damage to the Obstagoon. They're going to swap out into Typhlosion, which isn't great, but this Icicle Spear will do some nice chip damage. We'll come in with the Nidoqueen and look to throw the Poison Fang. Don't want to take the risk of the Stone Edge being shielded, so just go for the guaranteed damage and defense drop. We will shield this up because we need to farm down if we can with the Poison Jabs, and thankfully we are able to do that. So Obstagoon comes back in, going to throw this Poison Fang, and we definitely don't want to see Alolan Sandslash have to come back in here. So thankfully we are able to throw the Poison Fang once again, taking out the Obstagoon. And that is another game won on the back of Alolan Sandslash. So this next one right here, notice we're starting mid-battle, and I apologize in advance. I did not realize this until later, but apparently I was running very low on memory, and as a result, my screen recorder only recorded part of this battle. And this was actually a crazy battle. Our Nidoqueen is at literally 1 HP, just survived a Blaze Kick, and we needed to land this Poison Fang. So super clutch 1 HP survival. You could see it right there on the screen. That means that their Blaziken is not going to be able to reach a move against our Walrein, which actually would have likely won them the game, because I think Seed Bomb plus a potential Blast Burn, Stone Edge, maybe even a Blaze Kick would have probably been enough to take out the Walrein. So we did end up winning this game, clutching out the 8th win in a row, but it was an exciting battle that I wish I was able to record. And I didn't realize until this next battle right here. You can see once again, mid-battle, and you're going to see what happens. Basically, this matchup, the Ampharos has a move. It's not at an Earthquake, but even if it is, my Nidoqueen is very healthy. It's one poison jab away from the Stone Edge, and they have a very low Walrein in the back. So this game was basically over. But what you're going to see is that apparently I ran out of memory completely, and we get this message on the screen right here saying that our device is not compatible with Pokemon Go. So I was forced to restart the app, came back in, the battle was over, we lost, and that ended the win streak at 8. Very unfortunate, but it is what it is. Obviously I cleared some storage space after this, and right here before everyone roasts me in the comments, I thought that was Gallade, not Gardevoir. So obviously a huge mistake. The opponent probably thinks, how the heck did I react that quickly to their safe switch? I actually didn't. It was a simultaneous swap by accident, and Alolan Sandslash isn't exactly the best answer to Scizor right here, but I mean, it's a pretty decent one considering what we have. This is kind of a core breaker, to be honest. Walrein is good if we can land the Earthquake. Icicle Spear makes it a little bit difficult, but we do take out the Scizor. Had to go down a shield, but at least we keep the alignment. And Gardevoir isn't exactly having a great time here against the Sandslash as well. So Ice Punch comes through. They're going to farm us down. We'll come back in with the Nidoqueen. And I guess Synchronize would be a little bit scary. They bring in the Swampert. We're going to throw the Poison Fang here, swap out into the Walrein, and this should be a GG at this point. Pretty much alignment after we got the Scizor out of the way. Walrein will have a very nice time with the Swampert here after the defense drop from the Poison Fang. Even if this is an Earthquake, we tank it very well. They're going to reach a Hydro Cannon, which we do not need to shield, and we're just going to commit to the straight farm down with the Walrein. Throw the Icicle Spear at the Gardevoir, which will get the win or the shield. They decide to shield it up. Nidoqueen will come back in, and the opponent giving up on their team like Ben Simmons did the Sixers. 4-1 set, could have very easily been a 5-0 with Alolan Sandslash. Again, I apologize for the recording issues in 2 of those battles. Thought I had a lot more storage remaining than what was actually the case. Alolan Sandslash with Shadow Claw looks like a very fun pick. Probably will perform better in a league where you can power it up past level 40, but it still puts some work in for this video. If you enjoyed this content, please consider leaving a like and a comment down below, and if you'd like to see more videos like this, consider subscribing.